You open TikTok for 5 minutes. Suddenly, an hour disappears. You aren't lazy, you were hacked. Short video platforms like YouTube Shorts, TikTok, and Reels aren't just entertainment. They're psychological traps built to hijack your brain's reward system. Every swipe, every sound, every face you see, it's all engineered to keep you scrolling. This isn't an accident. It's addiction by design. So what's really happening inside your brain when you can't stop watching? The world is hooked. Billions of people spend hours every day scrolling through 15-second bursts of content. But behind this harmless entertainment lies one of the most advanced psychological systems ever created, a machine built to exploit the same neural pathways that drive addiction to gambling or drugs. It begins with the simplest mechanism: variable rewards. Every time you swipe, you're performing a micro-gamble. Maybe the next video will be funny, emotional, or shocking. Maybe it won't. This unpredictability triggers dopamine release in your brain, the same neurotransmitter responsible for pleasure and motivation. When a reward appears at random intervals, your brain learns to crave it even more. The algorithm knows that, and it uses it against you. The more you scroll, the more the system learns about you, your attention span, emotions, fears, even your insecurities. Within hours, it builds a digital psychological profile that predicts what will make you stop and stare. It's not just showing you content, it's studying your every reaction. If you pause for 1 second longer on a particular kind of video, maybe someone's face, a tone of voice, or a dramatic reveal, the algorithm notices and feeds you more. This creates what psychologists call reinforcement loops. The more you watch, the more personalized the feed becomes, and the harder it is to stop. You're not in control. The platform is training your brain like a lab rat pressing a lever for dopamine. Another reason these platforms are so addictive is how they merge social validation with endless content. Each like, comment, or share activates the same part of the brain as social approval in real life. You feel seen, appreciated, rewarded, even if it's just from strangers. This illusion of connection creates an emotional bond between you and the platform. Over time, you start to associate your self-worth with your engagement metrics. Without realizing it, you've entered what psychologists call the feedback addiction cycle. You don't just scroll for entertainment anymore. You scroll to feel something, to fill a gap. Short videos also manipulate your attention architecture. Traditional videos give you time to build focus. Short-form content resets your attention every few seconds. Your brain gets used to constant novelty and quick dopamine spikes, making it harder to focus on slower, deeper tasks like reading or studying. This isn't just distraction, it's cognitive rewiring. Imagine if a casino fit inside your phone, lights flashing, rewards popping, endless chances to win. That's the essence of short-form video design. Every swipe functions like a slot machine pull. Sometimes you hit the jackpot, a hilarious clip, a beautiful person, a shocking reveal. Other times, nothing special happens. But your brain doesn't care about the misses. It's hooked on the anticipation. The unpredictability of the next video is what keeps you scrolling. This is called intermittent reinforcement, and it's one of the most powerful behavioral conditioning tools ever studied. Tech companies have teams of behavioral psychologists and neuroscientists who specialize in designing these reinforcement systems. They understand that to make an app addictive, it needs to create micro-surprises and emotional triggers every few seconds. The music, camera movements, captions, even the transitions are optimized to activate your brain's pleasure circuits. Studies show that people release more dopamine while anticipating a reward than when they actually receive it, meaning your excitement for what's next is literally more satisfying than the content itself. This endless anticipation is what drives hours of scrolling without realizing how much time has passed. Another critical layer is personalization. Algorithms don't just track what you like, they monitor how you engage. They analyze the milliseconds you pause, how your eyes move, how long you watch before swiping away. Using this data, they learn to feed you emotional patterns. Comfort when you're anxious, validation when you're insecure, outrage when you're bored. These emotional manipulations keep your nervous system stimulated. Over time, your brain starts to expect the platform to regulate your emotions. Happiness, stress, loneliness, boredom, everything gets channeled through the scroll. When you're sad, you open the app for comfort. When you're happy, you open it to share. The habit becomes self-sustaining. This creates what psychologists call compensatory use. The platform becomes both the problem and the solution. You feel empty after scrolling, so you scroll again to fill that emptiness. The cycle never ends because the system is built to be frictionless. Infinite scroll, autoplay, and notification nudges are subtle but deliberate tools to remove any moment where you might decide to stop. In the same way a casino hides clocks and windows, these platforms hide time itself. You lose track of the present because every second is replaced by the next piece of micro-content. Over months or years, this behavior can alter your neural pathways. Dopamine sensitivity changes, making you crave constant novelty. You may find it difficult to enjoy slower pleasures, a conversation, a walk, or even a movie. This isn't your fault. It's a biological consequence of engineered overstimulation. These platforms don't just compete for your time, they compete for your neural real estate. So how do you break free from an addiction that hides behind entertainment? The first step is awareness. When you understand how your brain is being manipulated, the illusion starts to weaken. The key is to reverse the psychology, to use your own cognitive control against the system designed to control you. Begin by recognizing your triggers. Notice when you open the app, is it boredom, stress, habit, or curiosity? Label the emotion. This activates your prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for conscious decision-making, and weakens the automatic impulse to scroll. Next, disrupt the feedback loop. Turn off autoplay. Set screen timers, or move the app away from your home screen. Small friction points can break the chain reaction of impulsive scrolling. Replace the dopamine hits with something slower but rewarding: reading, exercising, creating. The goal isn't to eliminate pleasure. It's to retrain your brain to enjoy delayed gratification. When you build tolerance for slower rewards, your attention span and mental clarity start to return. Psychologists also recommend dopamine detoxes, short breaks from digital stimulation. Even one day without short videos can reset your reward sensitivity. You'll notice how your mind feels quieter, more focused, and less restless. During this time, do activities that engage deep focus, writing, art, or learning something challenging. These actions rebuild your brain's capacity for sustained attention. Most importantly, understand that the addiction isn't a personal failure, it's a design feature. Companies profit from your attention. The more time you spend scrolling, the more data they collect and the more ads you see. Your distraction is their business model. Once you see that, you can choose differently. Every swipe you resist is a small act of rebellion against a trillion-dollar attention economy. The real freedom lies not in deleting every app, but in reclaiming control over your mind. Use these platforms consciously, as tools, not as masters. Follow creators who teach, inspire, or challenge you to think deeper. Set limits and hold them. The more intentional you become, the less power the algorithm has over you. Your attention is your most valuable currency, and every time you choose where to invest it, you're shaping not just your brain, but your future. Because in a world built to steal your focus, the ultimate act of power is to own it.